Hello, everybody. Sorry about the wait. We are just waiting on them to begin the countdown, which should begin any moment. This is hype, I agree. This is going to be an interesting race. All right, it looks like they're starting off. Let me work on singing them up real quick. Oops, hold on, I've done the wrong way. There you go. All right, there we go. They should now be synced up. So we got Lynn versus Dib. I know Lynn has a 109. Dib, I believe, is a little lower than that. I'm not too sure about what his PB is, but... Did both runners remember to do map glitch? Dib did not do map glitch, actually. So Lynn has a free 10 seconds over Dib. Now, if I were a betting man, I'd say that neither one of these two goes for Chauncey 1 second. But we will see. Lynn missing the first anti-room double, but quickly sucking up the second ghost. Getting hit from the second double and anti-room as well. The ghost spawns on the far right side, so now Dip is actually ahead. Alright, there we go. Lynn actually catching up in wardrobe. Dip stream freezing. Not sure what is up. There we go. Now Dip is also on English, while Lynn is on Japanese, so Lynn does have the advantage of Japanese exclusive glitches later in the run, as well as faster text. Having a little trouble with the book there getting in the way. And Dip is moving too early. So Lynn is pulling ahead by 5 or so seconds. This room can be a very laggy room. They're both keeping the vacuum out. Alright, both keeping the same pace as they had roughly. We're now coming up to Chauncey. Laser Crusader. No, it looks like Lynn is doing the non-Laser Crusader strat and Dip's going for Laser Crusader. So this might be a chance for Dip to shave some time off. Saving several seconds over Lynn here. Or maybe it's 1 second, but it's 1 to 2 seconds. Alright, let's see it. Chauncey. So we need to walk in front of these horses to actually get them to come at us sooner so that we can advance the fight quicker. Dip pulling ahead. Going for Chauncey 1 cycle and missing it. Lynn settling for the 2 cycle, which is respectable. So Dip pulled ahead slightly because he got the ball catch. Lynn got bonked. So now we will actually see a slightly slower second cycle from Dip. Third wave of horses that Lynn does not have to deal with. I think Lynn's gonna pull ahead here. Well, he missed the ball catch actually, so Dip still has the lead by 3 or so seconds here. Having to reopen the chest twice. So now they're almost synced. That Lynn's only like 1.5 seconds behind Dip now, leaving area 1, or I'd say 2.5 seconds. This is definitely already looking like one of the closer races that we got. We had one yesterday with, what was that race? I honestly don't remember, but it's one of the closer seeded races, I believe. Unlike a lot of what we've got in the first few set of rounds, where a lot of people get picked on. It's a lot of one-sided races. It was Afroman versus Miles. That is correct, actually. That was a pretty close race, and I feel like this one is going to be maybe a little similar to that. While all the other races for this first round can be a little one-sided, and Lynn actually backing out into the title screen for just 1 instant. Going for the traditional double, but Dip doesn't line it up. And Lynn doesn't line it up either. They both missed the double, so now they have to go for a backup. So now we're going to leave and go to ballroom. I'm unfamiliar. Do they go for 6-piece? Are they going to do doubles? I don't even know. But we will find out right now. Looks like Dip is going to do doubles and Len is going to do doubles. Very traditional. Very respectable. It's an older strat. And to be honest, it can be harder to do clean doubles than it can be to do a clean 6-piece. And they both just barely missed the last double. I mean, that was always my problem with the double. 6-piece came around and I learned that, and it was way more consistent for me than doubles were. So now we're up to early release. These ghosts can show their heart 10 seconds earlier than normal. And it looks like Dip actually got the 50-50 chance for that, while Len just got unlucky and is now 10 seconds behind Dip. Dip had a little bit of a rough suck-up though, so it was more like a 5-second time loss for Len compared to Dip. It looks like Dip missed poster skip. Might go for the backup right after this. So there's a poster on the other side of this wall that we grab after you light up the room, but you can actually grab it early, save the time it takes to suck it off later, and you can just do it now. I'm not sure if Dip got the backup, but I know Len definitely got poster skip. Dip did not, so I believe Len might be ahead, just barely now. 11:05 and 11:07, so Len is ahead. So we're coming up on a split that has a lot of RNG. There's a lot of RNG in this next segment, a lot of random luck involved. Every boo, you can lose several seconds if you don't get treated right to each one. And the first one's going to be really relevant because of Parlor Boo Tech Skip. If you suck up a cloth right after getting a boo, you can actually skip the text from E-Guy calling you entirely. You skip the call. Because I guess for some reason, the game only registers the last thing you sucked up, so all it sees is the cloth, and it's like, okay, there's no call that needs to happen. And that's especially important for the first boo, because that first call is a solid 5 to 6 seconds. Ooh, missing the knock on that drawer, actually. And just pulls off the cloth entirely. Dip not even bothering with the cloth. Len tried to, and it didn't quite work out, so they're both going to be sitting through this text. Dip with worst possible RNG in Anteroom. Len gets second best. They both had somewhat similar luck on these boos here. Barely scanning the mirror, but both are warping out just within a few seconds of each other. That is correct. Correct. A lump in the table means there's the fake or the boo in there, and if the boo or no, it can only be the boo. The decoy can't change positions, so if the boo switches out and there's a table with a lump and no read, that means the boo's not in there anymore. Neither runner getting anything on right side of ballroom there. I mean, they've been close for quite a while. See, Dip's about 6 seconds ahead of Lynn here. Dip saving... Wait, what? Dip is not using the mirror. He's walking back down the hallway. Rare. Very rare strategy here. It is just barely faster to scan with the mirror there to go back down to Clairvoyant's room. But less than a second, I believe, actually. Taking the ghost off in the wrong direction. Can't get the double. Lynn was able to secure the double, so I believe Lynn's caught back up to Dip. Just one, like less than a second behind him. Oh, but misses the second double, so Dip is good to go. So now they're going to be going for Fire Warp. If you suck up a boo and land on the medallion, the game counts that you picked it up, and you can just save with the boo, and you soft reset the game. That you can just reload the game, and you've skipped the entire tutorial, which is way faster than allowing just watching. Well, that's not really watching. EGAD explains it to you for several seconds. It's quicker to just reset and walk back. Another reason why that's quicker is because it resets the position for the butler in the hallway. Dip having some trouble with the candle in the bottom left. Smooth candles for Lynn. So Lynn's only about 5 seconds behind Dip here now. I believe Dip is going to have a lot of wiggle room with this butler cycle. Like, Lynn's was a lot cleaner. So that might... Well... I think Lynn struggled to get fire, if I remember correctly, so... Butler was about the same position for both of them. Now, while we wait for Butler to come down, we're going to work on clearing laundry room. Looks like Dib grabbed Mario's hat. And Lynn grabbed it as well. You can accidentally grab it if you turn around right away. Because you get scared by the ghost, you can't move out of the way of the hat. So now neither runner can go for Laundry Boo chest cutscene skip. Dip got punched by the purple puncher, I believe they're called. So now he has to do Butler and then return to laundry room. Lynn did in fact clear laundry room ahead of him, so I do believe Lynn is ahead. Major lead, actually, so... Is Dib just going to leave laundry room? Gonna do it later? That might not have been the smartest play because now Dip would have to do every wave in laundry room all over again. If he went in there before coming into hidden room, he could have at least finished the last wave in laundry room right away, but now the room resets. Because in Luigi's Mansion, only the room adjacent to the rooms you are currently in are loaded. Dip settling for burning the remainder of the ghosts. Gets a little bit of money. Both runners trying to find the boo in this room. Dip did miss the mouse hole scan as well, so Lynn is really far ahead because Dip's gonna leave right after Lynn here. All Lynn has to do is get the boo. Dip has to redo every wave in laundry, which is 3 waves. So Lynn is easily like 20 seconds in the lead here, maybe even a little more than that. No laundry brew tech skip. Laundry brew tech skip is hard. Okay, so Lynn leaving in 1950 there. Dip's gonna have to watch the chest cutscene because he grabbed the hat earlier. Spawned the puncher kind of late, actually. Missing the double. Gonna have to grab the grabber separately. Yeah. Dip is like 35 seconds behind. Closer to 40. Let's see what song. It looks like Lynn got Mario Brothers 3. Melody can play 2 songs when you talk to her, and the one Lynn got was Mario Brothers 3, the Overworld theme. And luckily enough, they made it to where if it's the underwater theme from Mario Brothers 1, it's option 1. And if it's Mario Brothers 3 Overworld, it's option 3. So you just follow the rule of if it's Mario 1, it's option 1. If it's Mario 3, it's option 3. We are focused on Lynn's audio, so we'll see what Dip got. Lynn getting the boo and saving. Looks like Dip got Mario 3 as well. And Lynn is headed out. Lynn grabbing the water medallion, so now we can just... Kitchen Boo is probably one of the more complicated boos in the game to actually learn how to do fast, because there's so many things that can just occur. Can't knock it on the table with the cloth still on it, actually. Oh, and Kitchen Boo left into laundry for Lynn. Lynn's gonna have to go back into kitchen later. Or settle for a different boo. Oh. Having problems flashing the skeleton in the boneyard. Dib did get Kitchen Boo, so Dib might be the one in the lead now, but we're unsure. No, I'd say Dib's in the lead now. Because walking back to the kitchen takes about 10 seconds, and then another 10 seconds back. You sit there and you get the boo. That's like a 30-second time loss for Len there. Resorting to the singles here in the graveyard. The boo leaving at 0 health sucks. I mean, you never want to see it. Dip grabbing the large heart in graveyard doesn't want to take the double damage because Dip is playing on English. So every hit he takes is double the damage that Len has to take. One of the perks of being on the Japanese version as well. It's not only faster, but you're less likely to die. Len not going for C right is probably a good thing. Getting the one cycle on Bogmire. Standing still, admiring the view before grabbing the key. So if you hold C right on the C stick, you can manipulate Bogmire to spawn closer to you, but it only saves less than a second. And about 10% of the time, Bogmire just decides he doesn't want to spawn next to you. And you can lose several seconds. So you're risking losing several seconds to save half a second when you do that strat. Both players one-cycling Bogmire and entering Area 3. Dip does have a boo on Len. So they might be about equal, maybe. Maybe Dip's just a little bit ahead. We'll see what happens once Len goes for the boo. And then I'll switch the audio over. So now we're gonna find out. Oh nope, Len's going straight for the boo. Probably the best chance to get it. You don't want to forget about it. Hopefully the boo's on right side for Len here. And the boo was. I mean, I think Dip is like just a couple seconds ahead maybe. And that's it. It might be tied. It might be just about tied. Dip is just a couple seconds ahead here. Both runners making pretty hefty mistakes to allow the other person to catch back up. So now we're going to figure out the one of the major plot points in the story of this game. We see where Mario's being held captive. Also, they held an element there right before falling down the well. And you can just fall anywhere you want to if you're on a ledge. You don't have to climb down the ladder that's sitting there. This key can actually be really hard to optimize. So now the main goal here, you got to get this letter and prevent the ghost from spawning so you don't get scared. And it looks like the ghost did spawn and scare Len. We're coming up on Tea Room. Tea Room is going to be very... I mean, Tea Room's hard. Tea Room could be one of the points that makes or breaks this race. The door up above for Tea Room is actually on fire, and you can actually shoot the fire out of the way through the floor so that you don't have to sit at the door and wait to enter the room. Another runner setting up the cloth for almost said laundry booth. This is Tea Room. Tea Room tech skid. One of the plates stopping Dip from actually clearing the room. So Lynn is now just barely ahead. There's a chance the Boo is in that top left chair for Lynn there. I think the Boo actually just switched even closer, maybe? No. It's hard to tell there. Struggling to read the Boo. The Boo was not there. The Boo was actually over here on the right side. Dip having the same problem. Now they're both really close. Lynn does need to grab ice. Dip can just leave. This is gonna be really close. Yeah, they're within a second of each other now. Entering mid area 3. Both runners going to Petunia first. Wise decision. We want to clear Petunia first because you can just leave the pearls in Petunias. And less pearls will spawn when you suck up Nana because the pearls in this room are still loaded in. And the game doesn't like loading in more than the 442 pearls that you get from... Or, no, the 441 pearls that you get from a normal portrait ghost suck up. So you don't have to worry about getting the Boo and there being as many pearls to auto-lock your vacuum on. Dip struggling to find this last yarn ball, spawning the Speedy. If you barely tap anything, that yarn ball comes off your vacuum. And so Lynn is now ahead again. And the Boo could be in the table. If it is, this is huge. Because now Dip has to search around this really long room for the Boo. Lynn got really lucky and just had to tap the table. Took Lynn a minute to light up the candles. Her vacuum was pointed really high there. Setting up the double really nicely. Almost flashing that orange ghost away. Going for the singles here. Lynn got hit by one of the Shy Guys there as well, but still succeeds, gets the double. Good backup. Figuring out where the Boo is in this room can be very difficult because there's, 5 different spots where the Boo can be right next to each other, so it's very hard to tell where the Boo is. But odds are the Boo is in one of those top cabinets. You always want to check those first. Dip despawned the grabber ghost on the triple. Struggling to clear Astral Hole fast. Looks like the Boo's going to be in that middle candle there. So now one of the best parts of the run, we're going to just blow the moon up. We don't need it. Let's just get rid of it. Lynn lines it up, shoots it first try. You love to see it. That was actually pretty fast. It always took me like 2 or 3 times the length to shoot the moon. So now we're going to be making our way back downstairs towards billiards room. We're going to skip billiards and go into projector. Now that room can be kind of annoying. It's basically a harder version of mirror room. Starting off with a couple singles. Now we're coming up on the double. Opting for the top side double. Interesting. Usually you see them do it from the bottom side near the projector. Now we're setting for the triple. Clean projector room by Lynn. Still gotta find the boo. Do the save warp. Hopefully we won't see that which shall not be named. And it looks like Lynn's warping out of here. Dip missing the triple there. I didn't even notice that third one despawned actually, so he's gonna have to do singles here. So now is Lynn gonna grab a fire while getting this boo? I mean, definitely looks like it now. Whoop. Almost bonked into Neville boo actually. Also, it looks like Dip's getting the save warp as well. We don't have to worry about the unspeakable act you can perform in this run. The twin helicopters, the whatever those are called, the spinny wheels, that can be very hard to spin. And it looks like Lynn did a pretty good job on it. Didn't struggle too much with it. You have to spin that several times around in order to activate the twins. And it looks like Dip might not be able to get fire. Going out of his way to get fire, though. Dip struggling to spin the choppers. Finally gets him going. Lynn finishes second up. Almost gets hit by the red twin, but manages to get him off of his plane before he can do that. These pearls are going to get in the way. Looks like Lynn did manage it pretty well. Those pearls were a little scary, not going to lie. But Lynn was like, I don't care. I got it. Struggling to read Chauncey Boo here. Poison Shroom. Oh, almost walking right into it. Managed to avoid that menace of a Shroom. Also, the Pearl's auto-locking Dip. Can't read the Boo. Or can't activate the Boo, I mean. And this Boo is flying straight up. Twins Boo is probably might leave here. Yeah, there he goes. Dip's gonna grab the shoe and then just get the Boo in the hallway. There's only about like 2 seconds of time loss. Because you just have to watch the cutscene there. Lynn warping out of Lydia's. And now entering Clairvoya. Let the mashing simulator begin. So now we're going to present to Clairvoya all 5 of the Mario items we have. And she does a whole paragraph, you know, fun, pretending to be clairvoyant session with each of Mario's items. Struggling to find the Boo and Lydia's. Does he have the cloth pulled off? He does not. If this is Van Gore-Text, he's going to lose a lot of time. And it looks like he got somewhat lucky there. And also going through the right door. So Lynn is probably 50 seconds ahead here. Something like that. Maybe 45. You can see little bits and pieces of Clairvoya's text on Dip's side there. Some of it's actually pretty funny. Looks like Lynn is finishing up Clairvoya. The setup for Clairvoya is really weird. You actually have to use both sticks.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. Lynn getting the Boo, getting to the door and leaving. I was unable to see the knock, actually. The risky knock that is being talked about in chat. Dip was having issues knocking on the table right before every time talking to Clairvoya. If you're too far down, you can have that issue when you go to talk to Clairvoya the next time. Lynn remembering to grab ice. That's very important. You can make it all the way up to Safari and then realize you can't do the room because you don't have ice. I'm curious to see if Dip will remember ice. We will find out in about 30 seconds. Looks like Lynn's going to go for the double here. And actually gets it. The other guy spawned, but that's fine. A double is a double. And it looks like Dip does remember ice. That is correct. One time LeBron James did forget to grab ice in tea room. It was very unfortunate. But luckily, Dip and Lin did in fact learn from that world-renowned mistake. So Lin is now entering losses, which casually is one of the hardest fights, and it might even be harder than King Boo casually. Bulasis is just a pain in everybody's butts. But on the speedrunning side of things, it's not so bad. Now, it can go bad, but it's not as bad as the casual side of it. Even on the Japanese version, you just die to it casually, because you just get bonked and hit and slapped. Now, Lin getting pretty good ice spawn. Kind of standing in the middle, and it was kind of a low ice shot. So some of the boosts could have gotten stuck on the actual statue if you don't go far up, down enough. Far up, down. I mean far up or far down enough. Lin did not shoot up enough of the boos, so she's gonna grab the boo and repop it and all that. So there's 4 boos running around, and she's gotta, ice them when they charge her, which can be hard. Sometimes the boo doesn't want to charge, and it won't for 20 to 30 seconds if it doesn't want to. See, it's just choosing not to charge her, so she's gonna have to pop the boo again. I mean, if Dip gets a good 1 cycle, this could be pretty... It wouldn't be too even, but Dip would be a lot closer than before. Alright, just 1 more for Lin, and she gets hit. Alright, Lin finished Bulasis with a little bit of trouble. Looks like Bulasis is bouncing around for Dip. Doesn't want to pop. Let's see how Dip does here. Oh, doesn't even shoot a shot before just running in. Wants to get up close and personal with these boos. Still might be able to get the 1 cycle, just barely missing it. And that boo's running away, wants nothing to do with Dip. Realizes, it's on its ropes. So Dip is still pretty far behind, but way closer than when they were at Clairvoyant. So it's Area 4's coming up. You don't know what's gonna happen. Anything could happen. There's several hard boos, several hard rooms like Armory and Weston. You might not be able to 1 cycle Weston, you don't know. All those waves in Van Gogh. We'll see. There's also Grimly. We could see a 5-minute Grimly here. We don't know. I mean, all it takes is 1, decent mistake from Lin, and that could be enough for Dip to catch up. Or even bad RNG versus good RNG. Struggling to pull out the vacuum at the bottom of the staircase for Lin there. It looks like Lin is in... Well, no, you wouldn't be able to tell that, would you? I didn't. Did Lynn switch into sidestep? I'm not too sure. We'll find out in a second. Did not before, did now. All right, they passed each other on the interstate. They said hello. All right, we're coming up on Grimly. Grimly, he has a random chance to just wait as long as possible to show us heart. The longest I've ever heard was 70 seconds in a single run. So we could wait a long time to see his heart. He could be nice and show it instantly. Insta-grim for Lynn. His pants are looking fire today. Fire pants. It's going to be real hard for Dip to save time on this section just because of that. Like, he's got to get an Instagram just to keep up. Are we going to get a second Instagram? We're going to get a... Maybe we'll get 2 Instagrams. Maybe that's asking for a little much. We'll see. Nah, I know neither one of these runners is going to go for Breaker Boost, so we're probably not going to see Breaker Boost. We're going to see a clean breaker, get in, get out with the key. That's all we need to do. Dip did get scared. No Instagram, unfortunately. That still wasn't that bad. It was a 2.5 second Grimly. Lynn struggling to spawn the puncher in cellar. Going for the singles here. So I believe there's definitely an object in the center for Lynn. There might be one in that barrel in the top right, which there definitely is. Oh no. A lot of cackles on Celebroo. Celebroo's gonna leave on Lynn, actually. The Lynn has to get Celebroo later in the run. This might be exactly what the doctor... Dip going for Breaker Boo? Really? Struggling to spawn Breaker Boo. Doing a simple R-pump strategy. Breaker Boo's gonna leave at 47. Interesting. So Dip is going to have to recheck Breaker Room on the way out from cellar, and if the Boo is not in there, he might just have to clear Pipe Room. We're gonna have to do 100% strats and no out of bounds. Which that can lead to all sorts of other problems, like spawning Pipe Room Boo, and you have to let Pipe Room Boo leave. But Celebroo is leaving on Dip as well. Celebroo left as well. He is going to hunt Celebroo down. Lynn is about to do Toy Soldiers. Looks like she's going to be doing the doubles. Or not the doubles, sorry, the singles. No blue hits bless. The boo did not go back in the breaker room. Listen, the game's files say that it's a 50-50 chance of the boo going left or right, but that boo never goes right. That boo always goes in the pipe room. The blue hits bless is rare. Alright. Burning them all on rooftop. Which is definitely the smarter choice. Getting hit, though. There we go. Only spawning the right one. Still managed to get the double. And Dip is coming up into toy soldiers with one extra boo. The blue hits bless, like in the game's code, says it's 50-50. Like that's what the game's like internal devices say, but it's just not true. It just doesn't happen. Lynn has a lot of fire going to Armory, that's good. I think Dip might be going for Toy Soldier double here, and not might, is. Or no, doing singles, but he brought the soldier over. That's a little riskier, because now you're gonna have somebody shooting at you while you get the second toy soldier, but it saves a little bit of time because you don't have to walk all the way to the right side. Now you just have to walk to the elevator. And Lynn getting the 3-peats in Armory. GG's. I mean, it can be hard to get that, so. Dip successfully burning the Shy Guys. Standing really far back from those other ghosts, or the Punchers spawning. Puncher goes down left here. Now they're really far apart. It's gonna be hard to. It's gonna be really hard to get a double, and he did miss the double. Armory Boo spawned for Lynn here. I think Armory Boo double cackled right at the beginning. So, well, if he didn't at the beginning, he did there. So, Boo is now leaving. Damn, Dip got really far right on that fall there. Regardless, Lynn is safe warping out of Armory right now. And Dip is about to walk into Armory. But Dip has one extra boo on Lynn, potentially even a second one if you want to include Breaker Boo. Because all he has to do is clear Pipe Route. So Lynn is now going to grab Cellar Boo here. Boo is just chilling. Dip is struggling in Armory. No, Cellar Boo resetting is not too bad, because you have to make your way through the room anyway. Dip struggling to find Armory Boo here, opening all sorts of chests. This Boo is double cackling really badly for Dip here. I'm unsure how the Boo's even doing that. Slow R pumps maybe. Lynn is clearing pipe room to just not have to deal with the grabbers when leaving the room. Oh man, an armory Boo goes right. That's really bad. Because even if the Boo goes into clockwork, you have to go all the way down to telephone room, you have to walk all the way up. Alright, Weston can be really hard to one cycle. Let's see if Lynn can actually one cycle this behemoth of a portrait ghost. Almost getting... Oh, did get spiked by the remnants. Dip did get the Boo. Now he's going to warp out. I think... And we get the Weston one cycle without using the setup. That's really impressive. There is a read in the top right barrels there. But Lynn's going to check bottom left first. And that was the Boo. Can we see a one cycle? Nope, that Boo's gone. 96 HP. And that is true. Dip did reset his game, so Breaker Boo is back at 200 HP. Lynn warping out with 39 Boos, just has to get Van Gore Boo. I don't think he'll get Pipe Boo. It would actually be really slow if he did. Part of the reason why Van Gore Boo is a little bit faster is because you get the safe warp. You don't have to walk to Safari to mirror warp out. Lynn entering Van Gore. Let's see if Dip gets the one cycle Weston as well. Struggling to drain health off of Weston, so I don't think it's going to happen. That is very true. The route actually used to be skipping Hidden Room and getting Pipe Room Boo, but it's actually faster to clear all of Hidden and get that Boo with the tech skip than it is to get the 300 HP Boo. This is a sticky situation for Dip here. That Boo is gonna leave at like 6 HP, even if the R pumps are perfect. If they're lagging behind just a little bit, the Boo's gonna leave at like 20. Yep, there it goes. Lynn struggling with the purple puncher triple there. That Boo is gonna go into cellar. Getting the twirler triple. Now Dip should probably be warping out and heading up to Van Gore himself. No, is Dip gonna keep going for Breaker Boo? And making sure to get the large heart on the way. Does Dip have a 115? Also, I'm pretty sure it still would have been quicker to warp out of cellar on that far left corner than it would have been to walk up like that, but... Also, Lynn has a 109, so I think Len is PB paced as well, unless if Len has gotten another PB since then. Because I thought Len got a 109 and then hasn't played much since. I am not too sure. Len's gonna have to watch a second animation here. I mean, Len could maybe get a 107 if this is insane, but 108 is definitely on the table for Len. And if Dip's PB is a 115, I mean, he's set to PB by several minutes here. Now, Van Gorbu cannot be one-cycled. Even the task cannot one-cycle Van Gorbu. Van Gorbu on the Japanese and English version is just a different beast. He exists in his own realm. He just doesn't care. So the best you can hope for is a 2-cycle. And it looks like Len's going to 3-cycle his Boo. Dip's about to do the garbage ghosts. Let's see if he gets the triple. Only gets one of them. Len is now heading down to King Boo. Struggling to rein in this garbage ghost. Yeah, Len could get a low 108 here. I'm not familiar with what her PB is, because last time I knew it was a 109. But we have seen her timer. Her timer did turn red at Van Gore for a couple of seconds. So I'm unsure what King Boo split looks like. I can actually check real quick. Okay, her PB is a 108.09. So she's PB pace. If she gets a clean 2-cycle, she can get a PB. Maybe just barely. Probably not, because that's pretty hard. If it's a good 2-cycle, she can PB by like 1 cycle. And that's without insta shots, I believe. The Pearl's getting in the way of Dip's Boo. That Boo is going to leave another time. Boo left again on Dip. So I believe he 4-cycled Van Gorbu here. Alright, so we're going to see probably a 3-cycle King Boo from Lin, considering that lapse in the HP drainage of the boss there. So this is going to be like a 108, 30 something. Maybe a high 20. She does know to leave it at 200. Once you go under 200 HP, his head goes on backwards and he runs around like a maniac, which can lose a lot more time. So we're just not going to deal with that today. And it looks like Lynn gets a 108.34. GG's. Dip is on pace for a mid 110. I'm unsure what Dip's current PB is. I'm going to check his raw stream. His PB is a 115, so he's actually going to get like a 5-minute PB here, 4.5-minute PB. I believe it's a 115. That's what his splits say, but splits might not be exactly that. And here is Lynn.
Hello.
How do you feel about your run? You were close to PB.
I mean, I was, but I don't know how. That was. I feel like there were multiple disastrous moments in there, like with me losing the boo in the kitchen, in the cellar, but it worked out in the end, so I'm happy.
I mean, that just shows how much time you have to save, actually. So.
Yeah. I just need to practice a lot more, basically.
You pulled you pulled ahead of Dip, and he went for Breaker Boo.
Oh, wow.
And Breaker Boo escaped. Also, he pushed King Boo under 200. So, he's going to have to stand around and wait for King Boo to run around.
But he's doing pretty well then, right? Because his PB was a 115 or something.
I think it is, yes. I think he's about to get a 111.
Wow.
Yeah. King Boo is giving him a hard time, though. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching it actually. It's really, really difficult when he starts walking around and doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, when he runs around like that, it's so hard to like know where to stand sometimes.
Yeah.
And he has got 24 health. He can't even tilt his vacuum all the way up, but he does manage to get King Boo 111.38. I believe that's a PB.
Yeah, that's like a PB by like 4 minutes, I think. So
Dib just joined, actually. Yo, was that a PB?
That was a PB by 3.5 minutes.
Let's go.
Wow.
PB
nice
during a race. You'll love to see it.
My eyes hurt. My fingers hurt. My butt hurts from sitting in this chair.
Same, honestly.
I feel the same. I'm using one of those metal folding chairs right now.
Oh.
But
sorry.
We were very surprised when you went for Breaker Boo.
Well, I had a feeling just in my gut that I was way behind. So I said to myself, yo, but what if? And then tried to go for it. When I failed it, I immediately said to myself, all right, backup plan, Van Boo, unless he comes back.
Gotcha. We were wondering because you could have mirror warped out of Armory and cleared Pipe Room and gotten Breaker Boo with 50 health there.
Yeah. At that point, I was just more comfortable with Van Gore, and I was on autopilot.
That works, but I mean, there were several points where it went back and forth, but I mean, you two were, you know, I think it was right around Moonshot where it finally split up, but until Moonshot, you two were within 5 seconds of each other for most of that race.
Really?
Yeah, like you messed up laundry and you had to clear it afterwards. Lynn didn't have that issue. But then Lynn lost Kitchen Boo and had to go back for Kitchen Boo after Bogmire, and that's how you caught back up, and then it was within 5 seconds of each other again.
Well, that made for a good race then, at least.
It was really entertaining.
Yeah.
Leaving tea room, you two were synced. Like it was within half a second of each other.
Wow.
Crazy.
It's really, really difficult to actually think about what you need to do when you make a mistake like, during a race. And it's like, oh no, I don't have any time to think. I need to fix this somehow. When, how, why. It's pretty tough.
It's definitely happened to me. All right, I believe we are going to wrap up here. GG's to Lynn. Lynn will be moving on. Dib will be as well, but to the losers. Let me pull up the schedule real quick. Let me actually go ahead and just say that. Like what's happening next. Where is it? I had it and then I lost it. Yeah, so Lynn did win. Lynn will be up against Joven
That will
next.
be a struggle. But I'll do my
And-
Very
best.
sorry.
And Dip will be up against Zero.
Oh. Wonderful.
And then our next race is later today at 7:30 p.m. EST. It's Pharaoh versus Crazy 8, and then there's another one right as that ends, and that's Spud versus Chill Wizard. That one's gonna be really interesting because they're pretty close. So that race is gonna be another one of the close ones in the first round.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting us like usual, and
Thank you
definitely
for
check out the
commentating.
races later today. What's the command to? Let me see here. What's the command like runners and then? I don't know what the one is for commentator, but you see my name on there. There we go. Mega Lightning's got me, but we're gonna go ahead and end it. Thanks for watching. GG's to both of you again.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, we should be good.